This episode actually covered a whole lot that had to do with parenting and when parents have to let go. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. Going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is going to be my review for episode 12, season 1 of Greenleaf. Like I said, it has a lot to do with parenting and that kind of thing. But anyway, we'll get to it. First thing is Jacob and Carissa. Jacob basically, Carissa had this worry thing going on about Jacob actually going over to Trinity to actually become a preacher and all of that. And a lot of it had stemmed from the fact that Alexia is over at Trinity. So he had to assure, well, he assured Carissa that is over, it's done, and you won't have anything to worry about. But you can see it in her face that she was worried about it. But the worker is, catch her at work, baby, because there's this little cute little piece at work that she enjoys spending time with. And she was telling him, my husband's going to be hanging around a little bit more than he has in the past, and kind of, basically letting him know to hang loose, because I think she enjoys spending time with him, and I wouldn't be surprised to find out that something else more is actually going on. You know what I mean? If there's not, they definitely, the both of them are all in and would like for something more to go on, but whatever. We ain't seen it yet, so we'll see. They've been worried about May, when May actually gets the news, because they were actually setting up. They had that meeting. It was Bishop and Jacob and actually what's his name, Skanks, basically Skanks. They had the little thing. He did give him his blessings and all of that, and told him, you're gonna have to tell your mother because I'm not telling your mother. So they were worried about telling May and saying, we're gonna have to move. They were sure that May was going to throw them out of the mansion and off of the grounds. And she made a liar out of them. She didn't. She didn't throw them out at all. She told them, you will stay here at the house like you always have. You'll stay here. And that's it. I said, at what cost, though? Because he's like, thank you, Mama. At what cost? There's definitely going to be a cost because that's how May works. There's going to be a cost to it, but we'll see. We had a little thing with May and the deaconess, Connie Sykes. They got together, and there's the whole thing about, the Ladies' Day situation. Everybody's still unhappy. The deacon board is not happy with the fact that she paid most of, the rental and all that. They're like, you need to take heed to the fact that the church is doing bad. We need money. And we're not going to give you any more leeway. You need to put Grace in the pulpit and sit Bishop down. That's just the way it is. We need money. The biggest offering we got was when Grace was up in the pulpit. We need to put Grace back up in the pulpit to preach. And that's all there's to it. And I kind of laughed because at one point, May was saying she wasn't going to put Gigi in the pulpit. She's not putting Gigi in that pulpit. She's not going to do it. That she wanted to go in the pulpit herself. And the bishop was like, no. You don't need to do that. And she's like, yeah, I do. So that was like a whole big mess. Then there was the court hearing. Grace and Ray fighting over Sophia. Well, Grace lost. She lost. And they're going to let her keep Sophia until the end of the school year, which is actually like 2 weeks from then. And then for all of the summer, the 3 months of the summer, she's going down to be with her dad. And then they're going to revisit it to see what's going to happen going forward from there. Sneaking suspicion that he's actually going to win custody. The whole situation. She broke the law by actually taking Sophia to the Greenleaf mansion because she was out of state. She had no business taking her out of state. So she's basically being looked at really badly in the eyes of the judge and all that. So that was a whole mess. Sophie was having such an issue with it. You know, she was so mad. She was like, I don't like this. She didn't like being put in between her dad and her mom. And she really, you know, she even told her dad, you know, I really don't want to go with you. I want to stay here. And he told her, I'll see you in 2 weeks. And the thing about it, he don't really want her. Child, he just wants to win. That's all it is. He wants to win. He wants to show Grace a lesson. And Grace knows that. He's just being a bastard. Grace actually had a conversation with um, old Noah. And he's letting her know that the fiance is coming back in town. And that they're basically trying to work it out. So that didn't really make her too happy, but they have that going on. Let's see what else went on. Adrian and Kevin actually went out on a date. Kevin actually went out to dinner with the white guy, and then he kind of flipped it. And the guy's like, so he's like, I'm not into this like this. He's like, you know what I mean? I'm married. I got babies on the way. And I'm not gay. He said, so tell me, why are we at dinner? Why are we out on a date and at dinner? He's like, I don't know. He walked out on that motherfucker. He's like, I ain't got time for this. He said he wanted the black paint test, honey, but he was like, I don't have time for this. He walked right the fuck out and left Kevin. So Kevin's like trying to get himself together. Funny thing, how they switched things around. Bishop took and gave Charity Jacob's office down to Jacob's leaving, and she noticed his hand shaking and stuff when they were having a chit chat, and asked him, "Is something wrong?" He said, "No. She went to Lady May and said to her, something wrong with Daddy?" And she didn't say no, but she didn't say yes, and told her, "You have to ask him. You have to ask him." That's just all that's to it. So that was a bit of a mess. The biggest thing that I think was kind of like really, really wild in this episode was that Kevin, with all of what he's doing and all the fighting the demons and how everybody says, oh, just come on and just tell me the truth and then we can work through it. He told Charity that he's having feelings. He's been fighting with feelings. He hasn't done anything, this, that, thing, and the other. Excuse me. He went through the whole thing. He basically sat down and confided in her, went through the whole thing and told him, you know, that no, I'm not gay, but I've been having these feelings and I don't want to have the feelings and I need, help, this, that, and the other. She flipped the shit on him and went the fuck off. And this is why you have a lot of people, so that's one of the things why people don't come out of the closet or try to come out of the closet in some of those situations, because of that very thing. They're afraid that that's how things are going to be handled. She went the fuck off. She ended up going off. Her blood pressure ran all up. They ended up having to go in the ambulance to the hospital, and it's all a fucking mess at this point. She's extremely angry with him, and I'm like, okay. And she's like, you're just a liar. You're a liar, this, that, and the other. No, he hasn't done anything. He hasn't cheated on you. She was so ready to accept that he cheated on her with another woman, and he just said that he was having feelings, and she just went off to the side. So I don't know what's going to become of them two. But I think she's going to end up blasting him in front of the rest of the family, and it's going to be a mess, is what I'm really, really thinking. But um, it is what it is. And he literally ended up going and spilling his guts to her after listening to Lady May. She was actually telling him, you're the man. All this sleeping on the couch and carrying on, there's no way that the bishop would even allow for me to carry on like this for this amount of time. You're the man. You need to put your foot down. And that's what he did. But he went and, he bared his soul and told her he needed help. And she flipped it. But whatever. So it's going to be interesting to see what's actually going on with that. Last thing that May actually said to Bishop, like I said, she said, I'm going to be the one preaching unless you tell me what Mac actually has on you. And he walked off and dismissed it and didn't talk to her. She was all pissed off. Was the last we seen of her. Mavis and Gigi actually did talk, and here, Mavis is like, you haven't been returning my calls, this, that, thing, and the other. Gigi had said to her, for some reason, I don't want to leave. I came here, and she said, no, you've come, you've done what it is that you set out to do, and now you need to go. I don't know why you're trying to hang on. It's a mess. The church has ruined your parents. That church has changed them from the people they were. That church is all about the business aspect of it all. And you need to leave. You need to get away from it and let it go. You did what you needed to do. You need to leave it alone. And whatever went on, when it all got started, Mac did screw Mavis. He ended up, her place is actually shutting down. You've seen her moving things and closing some things up. Because he then went down and pulled some strings and got her place bought from up underneath her. They bought her out. So that's before he went to jail. But yeah, so that was that. It was what it was. This is where we actually kind of left off. So don't know. It wasn't a very eventful episode. It was more informative than anything else. It just kind of pulled some of the storyline together. So we'll see what goes on next week. I think it's going to get better because I think we're getting ready to run into a little headbutt between Mavis and Lady May, and I can't wait to see that, honey. I bet there are going to be some insults thrown around there, honey. But anyway, I will talk to you guys next week. All right. Bye, y'all.